name is Jason Lawrence, and I'm a good friend of Hunter Yoder, the artist here. And I know Hunter was speaking to you earlier about his painting, and he was deciphering the runes for you. And a couple of the interesting things I'd like to tell you about them. If you notice the shapes, all the runic shapes are done with angles and straight lines. They are specifically designed so that they can be carved into rock or stone. And that's why they look the way they are. There's no curves. Everything is angles and straight lines. And it's very important because in Northern Europe, 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, when they were being used, there was no paper in Northern Europe. Some might have trickled in from the Romans, but these things had to be cut into wooden tablets. And they were also being carved into stones. Now, Hunter explained to you that each of the runes has a phonetic meaning. It actually makes a sound, but there's a higher step. The higher step is the esoteric meaning of all of the runes. And the one that is sort of the trivia-based one is this one down here. It actually is face up. And that rune stands for the tree of life. And turned over, it stands for death. And you will see on a lot of German tombstones, even ones that are done in the 20th century, you'll see the name, and then you'll see the rune looking like a tree or a man with his arms upreached, and then a date, and that will be the birth date. That is the day of life. Below it, you'll see the rune turned upside down like it is here, and then another date, and that is the day of death. And one of the great things that the trivia is, if I put a circle around this, what have I created? I've created a peace sign, the hippies' peace sign, and that's one of the interesting things that we think happened to the 60s movement. They adopted actually a sign of death for the symbol of their peace movement. And we all know what happened there. Charlie Manson, Altamont, the Weather Underground, the 60s peace movement really becoming a pro-communist movement who were like really murdering thugs. And that's because they adopted an ancient symbol with a lot of esoteric power that was really a death symbol. It's very interesting. And so what you would do, for instance, is have a symbol that stood for the harvest. And you would place that around a field, and it would give the power of the growth of plants to the field that would help them grow. And, obviously that requires a belief in the supernatural. And these are supernatural symbols. This is the power of the sun, right? A lightning bolt. And, this one is the power of, this one here is the power of, it stands for the birch tree. And the birch bark is used for building, houses, ships. So that's the power of construction and creativity. So each of these has a meaning. This one, Gera, is the most strangest meaning. It means the wheel, the year, as you can see it. It's sort of like a circle that you've done with straight lines. Instead of the wheel of the year, they've done the biggest approximation of, it almost looks like a angular yin and yang. And it stands for change, the seasons, mystery, the circle of life. So you can see that these are pretty interesting.